All right, I want to do this short video on 501c3s. Basically, if you do research on a 501c3, it's basically an agreement between a nonprofit organization and the federal government. So basically, what this agreement does, basically, it sets up this organization where it does not have to pay tax, and in exchange, it basically has stipulations in there. Okay, if we don't force you to pay taxes because you're a nonprofit, then we're going to require that you comply with certain guidelines in the things that you do. So, part of those guidelines is there. Well, it's a long list of guidelines, but overall, you're limited on things you can say, limited on things that you can do, and it's all basically you know something to control your speech, so to speak. So you can't say things about certain types of people. You can't say things about the federal government, and so on. So you can do research on that if you just Google 501c3, and you should be able to pull the document up and read it. So where it concerns a church, okay, or a religious organization, um, a little history on it. It came into play, I think, I want to say like 1954. Lyndon B. Johnson, who was, one of the former presidents, when he was a senator, I think he brought this legislation into play. And so, you know, I'm sure when this came forth and it was presented to ministers, I'm sure that it appeared to be a great thing. Basically, let's say if a church was having to pay 30%, just picking a number, 30% in taxes, it allows it allow that organization to not have to pay out that expense every year. So from a church standpoint, it will allow the church more money to do certain things. From a pastor, preacher, clergyman, whatever you want to call it, standpoint, it would put more money in their pockets, basically. So I'm sure initially it appeared to be, a great thing. Now, here's the problem with that. The Bible clearly says that specifically for the nation of Israel, and when I say nation of Israel, I mean the descendants of Israel, that there's not supposed to be agreements that are made with governments or other leaders. Okay, and specifically, and that's in the Old Testament, and specifically, there aren't supposed to be um, it doesn't make sense from a standpoint of what you're supposed to be doing by um, not withholding the word of the Most High. Specifically makes sense that you would not limit what you needed to tell your congregation or needed to tell the public. And so while the generation when this was enacted or when this was brought about has come and gone. You got a new generation of people, and they're under these agreements, and they're I won't say that they're in a bad situation, right? Because you can get out of the agreement, but they've come up and now they don't think that there's anything wrong with these particular agreements. But where the Bible is concerned, the Bible speaks against many nations. Okay, the Bible speaks against many people who are doing things against the Bible, against the word of Yahweh, against the laws of Yahweh, the Most High. So as you look at this, you see where these ministers are in a situation where they can't preach the word as it should be preached because they're in a situation where they potentially could lose their 501c3 and at the same time take, I don't know, 30% or whatever the percentage might be, decrease. And in some of the bigger churches, it could even be bigger, a larger percentage. But they take a huge hit to the financial, status of their church as well as their personal finances. So now I don't have any sympathy for this situation. You basically got to do what's right, and if getting out of this agreement's right, that's the thing to do. But this is one thing that you have to look into, and it's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of the churches, aren't preaching the Bible as it's meant to be preached. They aren't. They aren't specifically, letting the people of the real nation of Israel know who they are. They rest on the confusion and the lie that it doesn't matter who you are, what nation you are, only that you believe, and that's not the case, and that can be easily proven with scripture. So that's all that I have to say on the subject. Leave comments if you like.